Welcome back, True Seeker. Early broadcast at 7 a.m. out here on the West Coast. About this time yesterday, I put up a free post on Twitter. You know, when this time of year comes around, I'm always pointing out the rituals in the NBA synced up with Michael Jordan's birthday. Every year, we're putting out the information for free. You don't just have to be on the Patreon. But thank you to everyone who does support the Patreon. But yesterday morning, I posted, I said, the Lakers are 22 and 23 and playing the Bulls 23 days before Michael Jordan's birthday. I'm sure it's just a coincidence. And of course, that's sarcasm. And then, I thought, oh, I'll give him the other half of it too. Why not? I said, the Jazz are also 22 and 23 and playing the Wizards today. The NBA is a script. And you know what the outcomes of the Lakers versus Bulls and the Jazz versus the Wizards was? Of course, the Lakers and the Jazz both won to become 23 and 23 days before Michael Jordan's birthday on February 17th. That's the 48th day of the year. These games were on the 25th, so easy math. The Wizards also picked up, or not the Wizards, but the Warriors also picked up their 23rd loss yesterday. Those were all the 23s that could play in the league. So, want to talk more about this. We had another glorious day in the NBA. It was arguably perfect. You could have said maybe we got one wrong, but in that game, we did have the points. But we've just been torching the NBA all season, you guys. We torched MLB all year. We cashed the 50-1 future on the Rangers, which we called opening day. Again, this knowledge, Gematria, it is undeniable. You have to remember, all of American sports are credited to Freemasons. In the NBA, it's Naismith. For football, it's Walter Camp. For baseball, it's Abner Doubleday. They're all Masons. And the thing about Masonry, they etch on the temple all is number. And Masonry is based in Kabbalah. And Gematria is where Kabbalah comes from. So really what I'm showing is logical. It's intuitive. It's evidence-based. And I wouldn't be able to come back here every year and make confident picks about Jordan's birthday in the rigged NBA and show you the number codes and hit the futures as we've done for a whole decade in all sports, college and pro. So anyhow, let's talk more about this. Let's also talk about the other buzzing story, the AI porn of Taylor Swift on X. And look at what they're reporting. Doesn't matter what news source you go to. They're all saying the same thing. They're saying that Taylor Swift, they made a fake porn video of her at a Kansas City Chiefs game, and it got 58,000 posts. 58,000 posts. What Super Bowl is just days away? Is it number 58? What's Swift equal in Gematria? Is it 58? How many losses is Andy Reid on with the Chiefs? Is it 58? Was Andy Reid born in 58? Was the owner of the Chiefs Clark Hunt, or I should say, is the owner of the Chiefs Clark Hunt? Is he 58 years old right now? Did Andy Reid lose a son on August 5th in history? Remember when that happened? He's had a lot of weird things happen with his family, but August 5th, of course, can be written 5-8, or it can be written 8-5, like National Football League's 85 in Gematria. I'm just saying. You know, and don't forget, where Swift is 58, her full name Taylor Allison Swift is 104. It's the 104th NFL season. Bundle. We've all year been looking at the Mahomes bundle ads for State Farm. Bundles 58 when you run the alphabetic order forwards. Bundles 104 when you run it in reverse. I'm sure it's all just a coincidence, and Gematria is just nothing but speculation. and don't forget, last year was the 103rd NFL season. State Farm's 103. Mahomes does the State Farm ads and then wins the Super Bowl in State Farm Stadium. Comes into the game 10-3 in the playoffs. Again, all of you guys who sleep on this knowledge, I just don't know what it is, other than big tech censorship, so you haven't heard out about it yet. But it's just like, look at this post yesterday I put out. Look at all the stupid posts on Twitter every day that'll have like 1 million reshares, 10 million likes, a gazillion comments. Why does this post from 24 hours ago, especially after it lands again, why does it have 9 comments, 26 shares, 90 likes? How's that even possible? Like, who's even on my who's subscribed to my Twitter? It says that there's 24,000 people here, you know. Anyway, just to how about earlier this week on the anniversary? Remember when Kobe Bryant scored 81 on January 22nd versus the Raptors? His full name, Kobe Bean Bryant, 81. Run it forwards, 54. Dead the Sunday before Super Bowl 54, which was the Joe Montana Bowl, Chiefs over Niners. And Super Bowl 58 is the 54th of the modern era, for the record. And Joe Montana is 67 years old right now, just for the record. But Embiid, on the anniversary of Kobe dropping 81, scores 70 in Kobe's hometown, Philly. You know, one of the all-time highs in the NBA just happens to happen on the anniversary of the Kobe 81 game. And you don't think this is all fixed and scripted? I mean, these scripts really are for people. I don't even want to say it. I've said it too many times, but it gets embarrassing that people don't catch on. It really does. So here to revisit yesterday. If there was any game we got wrong, I did suggest take the Pacers with the points, so wasn't really wrong, but it was the closest we were to being wrong was the Pacers beating the 76ers. Again, Jazz became 23-23, 23 days before Jordan's birthday, beating Jordan's last team, the Wizards. And if you've never seen my work on Jordan's last game in Philly, Kobe's hometown, and how perfectly synced it was with Kobe's last game, you should check that out. Timberwolves almost always win on the day of the full moon, wolf moon. Yeah, January's full moon is called the wolf moon too. So Timberwolves got past Jordan's Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn was technically the winning side of the bet because they covered the spread. So Jordan's hometown won the bet, but lost to the Wolves on the day of the wolf moon. 35 Thursday, you guys. Always teaching about 35 Thursday, right? This year, 35 Thursday is on fire in the NBA. There was only one team that could get the 35th win yesterday. It was the Celtics. Joe Mazzulla, their coach, also stayed on 35 losses with the team. So it was a double 35 for the Celtics on a 35 Thursday. Again, if you're new here, you're definitely new here if you don't know about 35 Thursday, because I make videos about it every single Thursday during the football season. It's been torching the NBA this year, 35 Thursday. Nuggets and Knicks. Knicks had a great upset narrative. We'll go over the notes that we had last night, but Nuggets pick up the 11th road loss in the 11th state. Knicks with good value last night with a nice upset. Kings took care of business versus the Warriors. Warriors fell to 3-7 in the division. Sacramento's 37. 37's the 12th prime. They fell to 12-12 at home. And they also got their 23rd loss 23 days before Jordan's birthday. And then, of course, the Lakers got to 23-23 versus the Bulls. Again, 23 days before Jordan's birthday. Bulls stayed on 21 wins like Lakers is 21 in Gematria. I just got to check the box score real quick. So they rested LeBron. But, yeah, I mean, it's just year after. And they'll do plenty more as Jordan's birthday approaches. Years past, we've been able to catch on to a long pattern with the Bulls. So I'm still trying to think about what they could do this year. But, again, every year they're paying tribute to the Jordan numbers by the time his birthday rolls around. So let me also just take a peek here at the Jazz Wizards box score. I forgot to tell you the best thing about the Lakers Bulls series. You know how we always talk about Michael Jordan in 113 and we call the NBA the 113 league? Michael Jordan's 113, of course, Kobe Bryant, who emulated Jordan 113. The only team with the 113 connections, the Utah Jazz, in terms of the full name. There's one city that has the 113 connection, and that's Dallas. But Jordan beat Utah twice in finals. Kobe played his last game against the Jazz. So would you guess what all-time win the Lakers got last night versus the Bulls? Becoming 23-23 versus Jordan's birthday? Check this out. Lakers record versus Bulls, including playoffs. You got to do including playoffs because they did have that final series back in the 90s. Look at that. Lakers got the 113th win last night versus the Bulls, becoming 23-23, 23 days before his birthday. I mean, how many times have we taught about the NBA in 113? Rituals in Jordan's birthday. I mean, literally every single year. And, you know, there might even be something to the Lakers becoming 17-8 at home because look at the Gematria NBA. It's 17-8, first of all. A lot of 17 rituals in the NBA, like how the day LeBron signed. Remember when LeBron signed with the Lakers? Day one, we told you that day LeBron will win the 17th championship for the Lakers in his 17th season. Coming over from Ohio, the 17th state on 1/7. Exactly what he did. But 17-8 is also a bit like 178, and that's a big number with Kabbalah, where this whole thing comes from. The Kabbalah, Gematria. And again, Bulls is staying on 21 wins. You learn these numbers, you just see the rituals. Lakers, 21, right? If you're new here, the 4-base ciphers, alphabetic order, forwards and backwards with numerology. You see how Lakers has the 66 and 96? Look at LeBron. 66 and 96. Last Bulls is also 66. Darvin Ham got his 66th win yesterday. Lakers beating the Bulls. Darvin Ham's the coach. He got his 66th win over the Bulls. And did you notice Lakers also has the 42? It's like when they had to tell you, not LeBron. When Kobe crashed, if you go back and read the headlines, they say his helicopter crashed on the 4200 block, which makes absolutely zero sense because it crashed in the middle of a field. But they still reported that he died in the 4200 block. Of course, Kobe was age 41, which means he was in his 42nd year of life. But anyway, 42, big number with LeBron James as well. Kobe dying at 41. Again, Kobe Bryant, 41. Died while traveling from Catholic Mass to his daughter's basketball tournament on the Pope's 41st day of his age. And Crucify's got that 41 for the record. It's a Catholic thing. So, you guys know, speaking of Super Bowl 58, they're putting up the Kobe Bryant statue right before Super Bowl 58. Kobe Bryant's got the 58 as well, like Los Angeles Lakers. And what's crazy is the day his statue's going up, February 8th. See how Los Angeles at Lakers is 58, like Kobe Bryant? The day his statue's going up is the anniversary of the death of Derek Thomas, the 24th anniversary, in fact, like Kobe finished his career with 24. And again, that statue's going up February 8th, 2024. They said Gianna wore 2, Kobe wore 8, but Kobe also wore 24. So on 2/8/24, the Kobe statue goes up by the numbers, all is number ritual. But Derek Thomas, what number did he wear for the Chiefs? And again, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl right after Kobe died. Derek Thomas wore 58. You think that's an accident? That the Kobe statue is going up on the anniversary of number 58's death, the 24th anniversary? You think it's an accident that Derek Thomas died on that day? Okay, let's go back and read how they say he died. Car crash. Where's it at? On January 23rd, 2000, Thomas. Hold up. Where did it go? Hold up. Sorry. On January 23rd, 2000, Thomas' 1999 Chevrolet Suburban went off Interstate 435 in Clay Country as he and 2 passengers were driving to Kansas City International Airport during a snowstorm for a flight to St. Louis. St. Louis is really important to football history. Jesuit University's there. The first forward pass was thrown in history. It's why Brady had all of his big history with St. Louis and all these Jesuit rituals, as we talked about so many times. Again, look up the article, The Road to 201 Wins for Brady by ESPN. They didn't do the road to 200. They did the road to 201 and how he got his 201st win over St. Louis. We had all that history with. But, of course, 201 is the number of the Jesuits. Kobe's death had a lot to do with 201. The first Jesuit pope, Pope Francis, is the first to live in Suite 201 at the Vatican. The last French pope was the 201st. The Jesuits are from France. St. Louis is French. Anyway, for a flight to St. Louis to watch the NFC Championship game between the St. Louis Rams and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, police reports indicated that Thomas, who was driving, was speeding at approximately 70 miles per hour, even though snow and ice were rapidly accumulating on the roadway. That's the story they give you, but do you think that's what really happened? I can almost guarantee you that's not what really happened. A lot of suspect car crashes that took celebrities' lives. And again, who's signing off on these stories? The police. And what are they always showing you in the movies? Corrupt police, covering up the murders, getting the payday. Who put out the song Murder by Numbers? Oh, that's right, the band The Police. If you never listened to the song Murder by Numbers, came out in 83, like murder equals 83. Funny enough, so does football, and there's a lot of suspicious football deaths and car crashes with police signing off on it. But, anyhow. It says by early February, Thomas was being, because he survived the crash, but then they said he died in the hospital the morning of February 8th, 2000 from complications due to the crash. So, his life essentially got turned off that day. And now all these years later, the Kobe statue, another guy who supposedly died in a crash, his statue's going up on his anniversary, the 24th anniversary in 24. Derek Thomas, big star in the NFL when Kobe was a big star in the NBA. But yeah, again, that's the point of the knowledge too, to understand the game is rigged on the court, off the court, rituals by the numbers on the court, off the court. The examples are endless. So we're here I literally I've been here every single day for over a decade showing this. So again, you guys want the sports information before the games? Once upon a time, if you were here, it was always free on this channel. Since the end of 2018, we've been doing it for $5 a month on Patreon. Recently, I bumped up the price for live streams. We're live streaming every day. If you want all the written content, all the live streams every month, it's only $11 a month, which is still a bargain. You get a ton of work every month. I literally have some of my own customers asking me all the time to raise the price. They're like, Zach, I don't feel right that it's only this cheap for all that you do. I say, well, send an additional tip then if you want it to cost more. But I keep the price affordable so people can get access to the knowledge, because at the end of the day, I do like to help people pad their pockets. But really, what I want is people to spread the knowledge and put an end to this sickness, because this is sick. Rigged games, people worshiping athletes who are paid to sell out, ritual sacrifice, all of this needs to be exposed. And again, what we do day in and day out is like this. I go through, I look at all the numbers for the game. So these are yesterday's notes. You know, you got to get the password through Patreon. And I recently figured out that there was a glitch on Patreon and a lot of people are accessing for free anyway, but we fixed that. And I noticed that subs are up a lot this week. So that shows that a lot of you guys were hanging around getting free access. Couldn't even chip in $5 a month. Quite sad. But what are you going to do? A lot of people are scumbags. Anyhow, 76ers Pacers. On the surface, this one did look a little bit better for the 76ers. And what I do is weigh it out. And usually the surface level stuff's the better stuff. But you could see there was a lot on this side of the narrative for a Pacers upset. And that's why I thought Pacers with the points was probably the right call here, even though it looked like the 76ers might prevail. So if we got any game wrong yesterday, you could argue it was that one. But not really. If you took Pacers with the points, it was a winner. Jazz and Wizards. Again, this was a no-brainer. 23-23 for the Jazz, 23 days before Jordan's birthday. Not to mention the Wizards picked up the 37th loss in the game. You see how the name Bryant is 26 forwards and 37 in reverse? Again, Kobe dead on the 26th day of the year, January 26th, on the 37th anniversary of Bear Bryant. And Kobe also died on his 157th day of his age, which is the 37th prime number. And Kobe Bryant's also 157. But the reason I'm showing Bryant first, Bryant 26 and 37, Jordan's the same thing. Jordan is 26 and 37. And in Hebrew, these numbers are associated with God. And these athletes are worshiped like gods. Jordan 26, 37. I write about these things in my first book, Letters and Numbers, if you haven't read it. Opening chapter of my first book, Letters and Numbers, talks about Bryant and Jordan way before Kobe died on the 26th, and why there's 26 letters in the alphabet and why the number's so special. But notice the Wizards did get the 37th loss, and the Jordan tribute fell to 7-37. Timberwolves and Nets. Again, Timberwolves don't lose very often on a full moon. It's like one of those glitches. It's not as good as the Vikings on Leif Erikson Day. And if you look it up right now, the Vikings are 9-0 on Leif Erikson Day. Their last game on Leif Erikson Day was not this season, but last season. They became 9-0 on Leif Erikson Day. He was a Viking, beating the Bears. Bears has the 90, like 9-0. But I just had to bring that up since we're talking Minnesota. Celtics and Heat. Again, 35 Thursday has been smashing this year. Celtics got the 35th win. Heat stayed on 35 losses. So it did look like there was a reason for the Heat to cover the spread. They did not cover the spread, but 35 Thursday did prevail. 35 Thursday indeed. Nuggets and Knicks. Knicks had great value yesterday and a strong narrative. Look at all that lined up for the Knicks. The 11th loss in the 11th state. Knicks have a narrative to potentially win the next two. They can get that 16th win over the Heat. That number plays a lot with the Heat. Knicks can stay on 7 losses versus the West on the 7-date numerology, which they did. The Knicks can get to 3-3 in the Nuggets division versus that Nuggets division where Nuggets and New York are 33. So, again, you crunch the numbers, you follow the patterns, you win a lot more than you lose. And if you're a troll, you can chop up my videos and just play the clips of where I'm talking about the other side of the equation and make it look like I lost on every game. But you'd only do that if you were a scumbag loser troll who was paid to do that, which, funny enough, I have a channel dedicated to doing that to me on BitChute, and I have a channel dedicated to doing that to me on YouTube. I have 2 channels dedicated on 2 platforms that troll me every single day. And they're both, who's ever hired those guys, they both know how to make videos well. They're good at video editing, but they're scumbags. They're like professional scumbag losers. And for all the people they persuade, all they're doing is lying to people and keeping them from patting their pockets like we've been doing for a decade. Kings and Warriors. And you notice neither of those trolls ever call in and try to debate. Not once. They just sit there and video. I guarantee they're up right now screen recording, and they'll try to chop up any video any way they can to mislead. But Kings and Warriors, again, the scales, a lot here going on for the Kings. Not so much going on for the Warriors. That's what we do. We look at the narratives, weigh it out, and, Kings took care of business, plus the Warriors got that 23rd loss 23 days before Jordan's birthday. All three of the 23s that could play in the NBA did play. And then Lakers and Bulls. Lakers and Bulls, again, not only did they get the 113th win like we just talked about, they became 23-23. And the Bulls stayed on 21 wins. Yeah. Another beautiful day in the NBA. And if you want to join us, we're streaming every day. We're talking NBA. We're talking college hoops. We're talking NHL. We're talking NFL. Tomorrow, we'll also have our really big stream on the conference championships. We'll be talking about it today more. But see if we can get it all ironed out. And again, if you took my advice this season, you're sitting real pretty for the conference championships, because two of our top futures for the Super Bowl this year, well, we were all the way on Ravens and Chiefs. I told everybody for free a year ago that this AFC championship would be Ravens and Chiefs this year. It was in the Super Bowl color logo. It was in the narrative for the Chiefs to potentially get to 4-2 in Super Bowls on the 42nd day of the year. It was in the narrative for all the sacrifice with Baltimore, which we were already on to before all the additional deaths in Baltimore came. So we were dead on about the AFC championship, called it a year out, put it out for free in the live stream that I did for the Super Bowl. We were already on it in the closing minutes of Super Bowl 57. We were already on the AFC championship. But speculating for what the Super Bowl could be, before the season began, we thought a rematch of the Harbaugh Bowl could make sense, Ravens and Niners, because it's on 2/11, which is the 47th prime, and Super Bowl 47 was the Harbaugh Bowl. That's how we had the Chargers picked out to fall to 4-7 this year when they met the Ravens weeks before it happened. Now you got Harbaugh going to the Chargers. Again, electricity, blackout bowl was Super Bowl 47. But we also thought a rematch of Super Bowl 54 could happen, because 58 is the Super Bowl 58 is the 54th of the modern era. So we've had futures in before the season began for Chiefs Niners or Ravens Niners. Now, we got to look at this more, because the thing that can beat our futures is the Lions. And the Lions narrative is not bad in light of everything that's happened. This year in all major sports, in the NHL, you had the Golden Knights win their first Stanley Cup. In the NBA, you had the Denver Nuggets win their first NBA championship. In baseball, you had the Texas Rangers win their first World Series. So you've had all these teams in every major sport become a first-time champion. That could happen for the Lions in the Super Bowl era. And we did start to speculate on the Lions early in the year, because we talked about how it's 2024. If there was ever a year for the Lions, it could be 24. And you see how Lions is 66 in reverse. The last time they won a championship was pre-Super Bowl era, 67 years ago, or 66 years ago in 1957. They keep showing you that old man in the stand at the Lions games. So yeah, most of my people in this weekend, all they have to do is hedge. They just got to hedge with the Lions just in case that they bust up what we've had since before the season began. But for all you guys who don't have anything in and are trying to figure it out, we're going to have our super big stream tomorrow for the conference championships, and see if we can't crack it. But the Lions have definitely made things interesting. So for all you Detroit hopefuls, and you did just have the college championship with Michigan, which actually University of Michigan began in Detroit. Now it's in Ann Arbor, but it was started in Detroit. You had a Harbaugh win it for Michigan, right? So Barry Sanders' last game was against the Ravens. And you know what's awesome is if you look at Barry Sanders' birthday, from his birthday to the Super Bowl is exactly 30 weeks on the nose. Lions is also 30. Bet MGM using Barry Sanders and the Ravens, which is interesting for their advertising sponsorships. And of course, their logo is a lion. But yeah, we're going to talk about all this way more, see if we can't crack it. And yeah, anyhow, our future's definitely landing in the AFC. We can't miss in the AFC. The Lions could beat our preseason future in the NFC. So We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, join us on Patreon. The link's in the description. It's patreon.com/Zachary K. Hubbard. Links in the description of every video. You can get there from my website, GematriaEffect.news. A lot of different ways. Go to my website, GematriaEffect.news. You got links to the Patreon, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, PayPal, all that. So for all those guys who are always asking me to raise the price, I never see it. It's funny. I know the people who do that and they never send a tip. So I'm like, why do they want me to charge more, but they never tip? PayPal is a good way to send a tip because they don't take anything. So, but yeah, again, you guys, I mean, Gematria shows you the script. Why are they making Taylor Allison Swift a part of the 104th NFL season? Why is State Farm's word this year a bundle? You know, it's all right there in front of you. If you just know the little Kabbalistic code of letters and numbers. If you want to call it a coincidence, I don't know. I think it just means you got a low IQ. You want to work on that too. So, but yeah, we'll see if we can keep torching the NBA because we certainly have. So we'll leave it there for now. Congrats to the winners. Hope to see you on Patreon today. Live streams Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 Eastern. If you can't be there live, you can watch them anytime after they stream. And we'll be streaming tomorrow too. I might start the stream a little bit later tomorrow since it's the weekend. But yeah, join us. Patreon pays. Till next time, True Seeker.